So I'm starting to hear rumblings out there. Maybe it's because there is so much talk about Shopify and e-commerce these days that people are getting concerned now. And just like everything that's come before, is it too late? Have I missed the boat? Is it too late to start a Shopify store? And of course not. And let me tell you why here. Okay, so when I started talking about drop shipping with Shopify and AliExpress, I think it was pretty clear about the fact that this is a great way to start because you don't really have to invest, little if any money up front to get this thing up and running. Now, it's not the best option out there in the world, but you can start drop shipping with Shopify and AliExpress for almost no money down. And I even showed you a way where you can kind of get away with doing it for no money down. But the point of the story is that's a great place to begin. Because when you're just getting started, when you're a beginner, first-time entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're trying to do, chances are you don't have a lot of money to invest. So that's why we want to go that route. But once again, that's just the beginning. There's plenty of places to go from here. And that's what I want to dive into a little bit. Now, I want to tell you why I think now is the best time ever to start getting into the Shopify game. Let me break it down for you and tell you exact reasons why now is a good time to get going.
5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
So one thing you have to understand is that for the most part, people are hard to motivate and generally lazy. So even though there's, it seems like everyone's talking about Shopify, first of all, it's only because that's what you're into right now. The more Shopify videos you watch on YouTube, the more you see, more Shopify videos, because that's what YouTube knows you're interested in, and their job is to keep you viewing, keep you watching. You got to remember, 99% of the world has no idea what Shopify is. You just see it all the time because that's what you're into right now. So you're still way ahead of the curve, first and foremost. Now, the second point I want to mention is get back to what I briefly alluded to earlier, and that's that most people in general are lack motivation and they're lazy. So I've gone and created the free 2-hour Shopify training course, which you can get access to down below if you want. The other good thing right now that I'll tell you is I've been in contact with Shopify. So if you do go through that course and you click on the link in that course page, right there, once again, it's free. When you go to Shopify, you'll actually get a free 21-day trial versus the 14 if you go straight to the store. But you also get 10% off, I think, the first year as well. Yeah, once again, if you go and grab a hold of that course that's in the description below. Speaking of that free course, to date, over 5,000 people have taken advantage of it. It's a great course. It'll teach you beginning to end how to get the Shopify store up and running, how to customize it, how to get your Google Analytics and all your good stuff in there, how to set up the drop shipping and with AliExpress. But the point I want to make is so 5,000 people have gone through that. Now, of that 5,000 people, you're going to figure at most maybe 10% are actually going to follow through. It's probably more like 5% or even 2%. But let's just say that 10% of the people who go through that course follow through and set up their Shopify store. So that means that out of the 5,000 people that I've trained how to do Shopify, and remember, I'm one of the most popular trainers on YouTube. So, there are other people doing it as well, but, I make up at least my fair share of training. And so let's say 5,000 people went through it. 10% actually follow through, which is more than's going to happen, but let's just aim high for the purposes of this demonstration. Because that means there's 500 people who go through and set up their Shopify store. Now, of that 500 people who went through and set up that Shopify store, another 10% at most are actually going to really dive deep and really learn the nuts and bolts of Shopify. They're the ones who are going to follow through and learn the nuances, learn how to write good product descriptions, how to set up their theme for conversion, all that good stuff. Okay, and so that is let's just say that's another 10%. So now we went from 500 people down to 50 people who actually really know how to run a Shopify store. And that's not because it's hard or that's no fault of my training or anybody else's training. It's just the fact that people lack motivation. There is very little follow through, and it's just the way it is. And I'm not dogging on the people who give up. It's just I'm telling you, if you have the motivation and determination to make this happen, there's still plenty of room for you here. Okay, so now let's assume that out of the 5,000 people that I've trained, 50 really know Shopify. Okay, let's now take another assumption that I'm one of, let's say, 10 popular YouTube Shopify training gurus or experts or whatever. So that means that take that same number, say everybody who's on YouTube and has a good following, sent 5,000 people through their training and 10%, did it, and 10% of those people really excelled. That means 50 people that I've trained how to be great Shopify store experts times the 10 other people out there who are doing this. That means in the entire world, okay, in the entire world now here, we're talking, there's maybe at most 500 people who don't own small businesses, but are really good at Shopify. Okay, think about all of the small businesses, all the Main Street businesses, all the bakeries and chocolate makers and embroiderers and everybody who's just a Main Street mom and pop shop. Okay, I don't even know how many there are in the world, but there's literally millions. I mean, there has to be, right? Well, they're going to want to go online. Now, maybe I know this because I used to work for a small business. It was the restaurant business, but small business owners do not have time to learn how to do Shopify. And small business owners in general do not have the money to pay some big time firm to set up their e-commerce store. But the one thing that small business owners know is they need to survive. And what are they going to have to do to survive? As rents go up in big cities, as rents go up on main streets, they're going to have to go online. They're going to have to get into the e-commerce game. So what are they going to do? They're going to look for people who know how to do Shopify. And that's where you come into play. I talked about learning Shopify with dropshipping as a beginning point, a jumping off point. Once you get good, once you start making money, then you can reinvest. You can use US-based dropshippers. You can work out deals with suppliers in your area. There's just a whole host of opportunity in general. But there's also the opportunity to outsource your talent. See, everyone who's successful online, they're not just doing one thing. They didn't just hit one home run. They didn't follow some course and all of a sudden they're multimillionaires. What they've done is over the time, they have developed a set of skills that allows them to excel in the online marketing arena. Okay, that's what I did. I started off with SEO. I used that to build blogs, earn affiliate incomes, and then I expanded from there. I learned how to increase conversions. I learned how to generate email lists. I learned how to make YouTube videos. I learned how to do multiple things. So I have multiple streams of income. And that's what it takes to not only be successful, not only to build wealth, but that's what it takes to be comfortable. See, I've never said I wanted to be a multimillionaire. I don't have Ferraris in the garage. I don't wear Rolexes, but I'm comfortable. I'm stress-free and I'm flexible. And that's what it's all about. So if you get your Shopify store up and running right now, and you know the ins and outs of it, Shopify's not going anywhere. It's an amazing, fully hosted e-commerce solution. And in the next 5 years, there are going to be so many businesses trying to get online that they're going to have to hire someone. Now, the big time firms, they have to charge $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 to make e-commerce stores because they employ so many people. But as an individual, think about the opportunity. You can go to sites like Upwork, or you can call people in your neighborhood or your town or wherever you're at. You can call people in other countries and say, hey, have you ever thought about going online? Do you want to create an e-commerce store? I can do it for $1,500. Okay, think about it at that point. At that point, you only have to land one client a week. And the more Shopify stores you set up, the easier this is going to get. So if you can land one client a week and charge them $1,500 to set up their Shopify store, it's like $75,000 a year. And that's just for starters. That doesn't include your side business, which is your dropshipping store that's going to make you whatever it is a month. And the other thing you can do is you can sell reoccurring services. See, people who own small businesses, they don't know how good Shopify is. They don't know how seamless it is. So you can sell them $100 a month, maintenance retainer or whatever you want to call it. This is opportunity for you to establish your own business in two ways. So if you're not taking advantage of Shopify, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. Everything's not black and white. You got to see that there are multiple opportunities within this one. So take advantage of it. If you don't know how to do Shopify, it's not hard. Click on the link below. Grab the training course. Take advantage of the free 21-day trial. Take advantage of the 10% discount. I literally break it down in 2 hours, how to get everything set up. Then you can start dropshipping. You can start selling your services as a Shopify expert. The possibilities are endless. And listen, this is just the beginning. You'll start building a set of skills that will serve you over time. Now, do it now. Otherwise, 3 years from now, you're going to be wishing you had. Trust me. Now's the time. Learn a skill. Start making some money. Sell yourself. Market yourself. Take advantage. We'll see you next time.